Alright, so this is just We the People News, and this video is without prejudice and or without recourse, okay? I'm not an attorney, I'm not going to give legal advice because I'm not an attorney. I may give opinions, that's it, okay? I never look straight forward, I always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. Now y'all, what happened to this man right here is because we are being letting judges and attorneys and all of them actually bypass the due process. Okay? There is no reason why an innocent man should be going to jail if they actually went through the correct due process. Okay? And if there was such warrant, why the guy was in jail should have been notified as soon as he was booked in that what he was in there for. And where was his attorney? 17 days and he didn't allow to speak to an attorney? Justice delayed is justice denied, which bypassed his due process of his rights.
Tonight, an Arizona man wants answers from American Airlines, filing a lawsuit against the company after spending 17 days in jail for a crime he did not commit.
The most horrible experience of my life. I just was trapped and I had no idea why I was there.
Police arrested Michael Lowe at a July 4th celebration in 2021. At the time, he was vacationing in New Mexico. When local authorities there ran his license for an unrelated matter, Lowe was flagged for an outstanding burglary warrant.
The Real ID Act, people. Yep, the Real ID Act. Thank God we got it, right? So that way we can add more innocent people to jail.
If I would have known that I had a warrant, I would have, pursued legal counsel and advice prior to just being snatched off the street.
His lawyer calling it a, quote, wrongful accusation in a newly filed lawsuit this week, leading to, quote, incomprehensible trauma for Lowe.
He is just every passenger on any flight.
Now that being said, he spent 17 days in jail. Then it still took time for him to find an attorney to do this. So you're looking at X amount of period of time before he even started getting a due process started. Which is not even a due process anymore because that's all been violated. He's just going after damages, remedies.
I did nothing wrong.
The origins of the arrest? In May of 2020, an entire year prior to Lowe's arrest, police at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport say they were looking for this man as part of an investigation into a break-in at one of the airport's duty-free stores. Surveillance camera footage followed this individual to the American Airlines flight that Lowe was also a passenger on. But according to the lawsuit, when police sought records from American Airlines on its passengers for the flight, the airline turned over information for just one person, Michael Lowe, leading police to put a warrant out for his arrest.
How did this happen? Why did they feel so certain and confident that he was their man and nobody else?
The lawsuit states, for 17 days and nights, Mr. Lowe lived in a constant state of fear of confrontation or abuse.
That was just a living nightmare. The violent...
Yeah, because I'm willing to bet that officers did actually go in there and hammer at him with questions, right? For me, before I even started doing this videos and studying up on laws and all that kind of stuff, 30 years ago, I spent a night in jail, paid a ticket for somebody else. And it was $400 ticket, and 30 years ago, that was pretty freaking high. Matter of fact, y'all, I need to go check my records on that and find out what it was. But anyway, I was an innocent man. And this right here brought back flashbacks of 30 years ago, believe it or not. But yet, I spent a night in jail being an innocent man because the officers did not do their due diligence. We didn't even have the same full name. and weren't even in remotely the same age. There's like 6 years, 7 years difference on this. Wrong color of hair. There was nothing to even put me in the same category except the first name. Except the first name, though. All right.
Outbursts, the mental health issues, other medical issues that the inmates were facing that went ignored.
American Airlines, in a statement telling NBC News on Wednesday, as required by law, American cooperates with and responds to court orders for information related to possible criminal activity. And that's what we did in this instance when presented with a search warrant.
The first day or two, I thought, okay, it's a mix-up. We'll figure it out.
Hopefully this lawyer actually looks at the warrants, which they never do, but it must have 5 elements. If it does not have 5 elements, then that warrant is null and void. People, research it. 5 elements in that warrant, that search warrant. If all 5 are not present, that warrant does not exist.
But then I sat in jail.
All right, Vaughn Hilliard joins us now. Vaughn, this is almost so ridiculous when you look at the surveillance footage and then you see this man that you interviewed here who spent so much time in jail. So what's the status of the charges and what kind of damages is he looking for?
Right, the images from that surveillance footage, very different than the man that we just interviewed here today. The charges have all been dropped against Lowe here, which ultimately led him to file these charges. Now, we also reached out to Airport Plea.
Hopefully it's been dropped with prejudice, y'all. Every single freaking time, y'all. Make sure it's with prejudice. I'll bang that in y'all's head.
Who are actually the ones that put in that search warrant to American Airlines for the information on the passengers. Of course, the only passenger that they supposedly gave info about was this particular individual. Now, in terms of damages, we are talking about an individual who says he suffered not only mental anguish and emotional distress, but also the loss of income, not only in those weeks after his arrest, but also going forward here. Now, it's ultimately going to be up to a jury, if in fact it goes before them, to award those damages.
All right, Vaughn Hilliard, good work. We appreciate it.
All right. It's not going to go to a jury. They're going to settle this, okay? If he accepts his... But his lawyer is going to tell him, oh, no, we need to go ahead and accept this offer, okay? So, anyway, this was the People News. This happened to a lady a good couple of years ago and spent her time in jail for misidentifying people. There is no reason for one innocent man or woman to spend 5 minutes in jail if they actually went by the real due process. Take me to the magistrate right away so we can verify everything to have that probable cause before you book me. We're not going to wait this 42 or 72 hours. No. That's an old law for traveling judges, and since the court's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, then you need to get your butt out of bed, Judge, at 3 o'clock in the morning and make sure there's a due process involved in this situation. All right, this will be the People News. Bye, y'all.